The Middle Passage by Scott and Kevin.
Finally, when their ship was reefed, they dropped large pieces on the plank and up into the ship till they got as many blacks on board as they wanted. Then the gate was chained up and they could not get back. That is the way of slaves got to America.
Large ships came to Africa to take blacks to be sold in other countries. The people on the ships were called slave traders and were selling slaves to make profit. They kidnapped any blacks they could find and sometimes made deals with some of the chiefs to sell their own tribesmen.
The Middle Passage was found in the early 1500s by the Spanish and Portuguese. This voyage was when white men took blacks as slaves from Africa to the other countries. Even though many people opposed it, it still became an important part of the economy.
The voyage on the Middle Passage took 2 to 4 months depending on the weather. If it was rainy and windy, the voyage would take much longer.
Slaves were chained and put into the hold where they could barely move. The more slaves in the ship, the more profit the slave trader would make. Over 10 million slaves were taken through the Middle Passage.
About 10 to 20% of slaves died each voyage, which added up to an estimate of 1.8 million slave deaths. Diseases such as smallpox, syphilis, malaria, and measles also spread. Slaves also died from lack of food, water, and fresh air. Connections between the Middle Passage and modern-day life. During the Middle Passage, slaves were put into the hold until no space was left. When animals are smuggled, they are shoved into small areas where they won't be found.
We had known to eat by yams, which were thrown amongst us at random, and of these we had scarcely enough to support life. More than 1/3 of us died on the Middle Passage, and when we arrived at Charleston, I was not able to stand. It was more than a week after I left the ship before I could straighten my limbs. I was bought by a trader with several others, brought up by the country, and sold to my present master. I've been here for 5 years.
And that's the Middle Passage.
Oh snap! That's Jamal! Hey, Jamal, leave. We're trying to do a project here.
LOL! Ruffle Fun Nubs!